Well, when you work with computers long enough, these things happen. I just blew up about 78 terabytes worth of hard drives. Stay tuned for the upsetting new video. Every single one of these drives had a power surge of some sort. I'll explain it in the full video, but all of these drives are dead. 78 terabytes of CHIA plots and 14 terabytes of TV shows are gone. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So when you work with computers as long as I have, the saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it, is usually pretty accurate. And this video, as painful as it was to make, God, you can be with computers as long as you've ever done your life and things like this will still happen. So in this video, I end up swapping out a power supply because I want to repurpose it for my new project. My new project is going to be doing a Filecoin server, and that requires quite high hardware requirements. So I was going to take a power supply from my CHIA node and just swap in a lesser power supply because it didn't need 750 watts just for a couple of hard drives, 26 hard drives. So I was just going to swap out the power supply and then toss it back in, and that would be good. I'd be able to repurpose that other power supply. Anyways, we go through a whole bunch of crap, and the resultant is I blew up 78 terabytes of hard drive space. And so all of that was CHIA, minus 14 terabytes was TV shows for my Plex server, which is actually more important than CHIA, in my opinion, because that takes a lot of time to download those legally and put them on there for my family and friends. It took about 2 days to figure out what had happened. So in this video, we're going to go through real quick, just go through the ebbs and flows of what had happened, and then I'm going to go over how I'm going to rectify it. Coming up here in another video or so, we're going to be doing I build a 8 by 3070 rig that I'm mining with again. So we're back mining, which is great. And I'm going to go through that, as well as we ended up putting in 2 new servers into that server rack, which is awesome. So we have space for 1 more 4U server in that rack. And I mean, I don't foresee myself actually ever using that, but we got it future-proofed, and that'll be another video as well. So for this one, you're going to watch The Folly of Man and see me cry. Anyways, I hope we can eventually fix it, but yeah, stick around and see what happened. All right, so we've got it pulled out now, and essentially all we're going to be doing here is we're going to be removing this 750 watt power supply. We'll be removing this NVMe here, and replacing this power supply with a 600 watt. I can't grab it right now, but we'll be replacing that with a 600 watt power supply. So basically, I have to replug in all of these Molex here, replug in these SATA cables here. These power SATA cables for the top drives, and then obviously the motherboard. But besides that, the rest of the power should be taken care of. So hopefully this is a really quick and easy job. I do not want this to be a troubleshooting whole conglomerate, but you know how computers are. As soon as you open up the Pandora's box, it's pretty much well, game over. Something goes wrong. Wish me luck.
Well, this is a conglomerate of just crazy shit.
So I had to do a SATA split over here. We were able to power this with the proper SATA, this with the proper SATA. We have all the Molex connections plugged in,
these are SATA to Molex adapters. So I adapted some SATA cables, some SATA ports to Molex here. So we've got the 5 Molex here. Then I ended up having to do a fan splitter for these 2 fans. And this one here is being run by a Molex, which is fine. Originally I had all 3 of these with Molex. I've run the 2 VGA cables over to this corner here because if I do have one VGA card, it's going to go right here, and I have the power for it there, so that's good. Everything else is plugged in, and it would be pretty amazing if I was able to turn this on and everything showed up with the new 600 watt power supply. Everything else seems to be plugged in properly. Alright, let's hope that this thing will boot and I will see all of my drives again. Holy crap. Talk about adapters. Oh my god, like I said, nothing is easy. I'm having to troubleshoot. I think I found the culprit. I think that SATA expansion thing is bugging things up. Now you have to put things back one by one to see where the issue is. Oh my gosh, all I did was swap out a power supply and now I'm having to like go through systematically every single one of these things. Oh my god. So here is the aftermath of what the issue was. All of these drives, 78 terabytes worth of these drives, are dead. They won't spin up. You plug them in and it doesn't seem like there's power going through the PCB. What I believe happened is when I was switching out the power supply, one of the fans actually had a cut, like one of the Molex cables was cut, and that blew apart this bottom row completely. So this doesn't work anymore, and anytime I throw in a drive, it either resets the power of the whole thing or it just dies. So I'm gonna have to take out this PCB to take a look to see if there's anything I can fix on it. And then it also blew up a couple of other drives. So this one used to be a 14 terabyte drive with all of my storage, and it's gone. So we are down a significant amount, and that really sucks. But I've ordered the PCB for this 14 terabyte drive, so basically just this portion here is the main board, and I'm going to do a video on replacing it and seeing if I can revive this drive, because I mean this is a lot of money, man. 14 terabyte drives are like minimum $300. So the PCB was about $75 shipped Canadian. Yeah, and a 14 terabyte drive is about well, including taxes, it's like $375 plus shipping. Like, it's a lot of money. So this here is a lot of fucking money wasted, unfortunately, but we're gonna see if we can replace this one. I don't know when the PCB will come, but if we can replace this and it'll work, then I'll order 5 PCBs for these 10 terabytes. And these two they may not even be worth it. This is a 6 terabyte and an 8 terabyte. May not be worth it just because I think it's $50 minimum, $60 minimum. So maybe we won't repair those, but definitely the 14 terabyte we have to repair. And if that one goes well, then we're going to be fixing all of these as well, because that's another 50 terabytes. Okay, so yep, that was a kick in the pants, but we're going to move forward. So moving forward, we have to get this one here prepared. And the way we got it prepared with the previous one was we had to do some dremeling at the top, and I'll show you guys how we get that prepared, because right now this is set for 20. drives, but you can put an additional 4 up at the top here. So we're gonna take this apart and Dremel out the top so that we can add an additional 4 if we ever need to.